What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Alex here from Team Generations, and today we're here to discuss the new update for Set 4, my personal favorite deck. We are going to be looking at Vairina. So before I begin with the deck profile itself, I just kind of want to go over the cards themselves, some of my thoughts about the new cards, general pros and cons. I'll start off with the pros of this deck. This is definitely a high pressure deck. If you have the ability now to have insane rearguard columns, really powerful, just on hit pressure, crit pressure, just a whole lot going on in general. You can recur resources a lot easier than we could previously in Set 3, which I really personally like. I think that with the new addition of some of the grade 4s, we get just a general field presence pressure, as well as recurring some of those things from the drop and just general recursion. So I actually do really like the deck. I think that in the ways that it was good before, it got even better, but at the same time, you know, there's two sides to every coin. I feel like what it's weak against, it really did not become, I guess, I don't know, any more resilient. It didn't really bandage up any of the weaknesses that it had previously. This deck is really susceptible to anything that retires, and you know, every single deck now has stuff that does retire. So it really sucks to have, you know, your 6 stack of original dress units on your grade 4 kind of go into prison and just have their field go absolutely nuts. It really does suck too that you have to play such a finite resource game in general with this deck. It's really tough to manage sometimes at certain points in the game, especially if you're not finishing out when you expect it to and whatnot. But overall, I think it is a good deck. It definitely has its weaknesses. I don't think this is a tier 1 deck for Set 4. I'm just going to put that out there right now. So unfortunately, you know, this is my favorite deck personally, but it pains me to say that. Just playtesting all weekend with this against every single matchup, I can just kind of see where it's going with that. So I think that we are going to kind of adapt our list for a high roll situation. I think we do need to kind of high roll it in order to kind of make sure that we survive and just am able to play the game long enough to kind of close out with some of my powerful rear guards. And that's the way that I kind of took the deck. So I've never seen a build more aptly named before. This definitely is the prayer build. So without further ado, let's hop right in. Okay, starting off with the ride line itself, no surprises here really in the 1, 2, and 3. Obviously, you just saw it on camera right there, but we are still running the regular ride line, but we are actually going into Trickstar as our starter now, and I kind of have an issue with this. One, it is necessary, I believe, at this point in Set 4, it definitely is necessary to kind of have that soul blasted out, you know, get there on your grade 4, and just kind of have it in play as soon as you can, just to deal your opponent damage. So in order to kind of guarantee that in a way, I really do like having it in the ride line. But at the same time too, I feel like there was a design issue with consistency. If we need to sit here and then actually include something that is not a regular starter, every other deck in the game has it, where, you know, you ride your starter, that's that, you don't ride anything else. You know, there is no exception, I think, to that rule. Correct me if I am wrong down below, but I don't believe anybody else uses any other starter but the regular grade 0 when rode upon draw if you're going second. And just for Dragon Empire to have to kind of do this for a consistency buff, I think that really sucks in general. Like, we need a more reliable way to get multiple kind of trick stars out and just kind of recycled, because there is way too much retire in the game in general, and obviously Trickstar does not give resist to your units. We don't have anything that currently does that, so until that kind of comes about, maybe we'll still be running this in here, but I just have a gripe with that kind of design in general. So that's my, you know, local Nirvana man yells at Bushy Road kind of rant. But let's hop right into the main deck profile now. Alright, and before we begin, I just wanted to quickly mention that we do actually have a Twitter now. If you guys want to follow that, I'll leave that down in the description below. We'll be posting all of our results weekly. We have V, Premium, and Overdress tournaments twice a week for Overdress, once a week for the other 2 formats, as well as a TCG player affiliate link down below. If you're interested in purchasing any of these cards, you can shop through that link to help support the channel. Absolutely no cost to you. And then lastly, if you do enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, definitely helps us out. Really trying to hit that 1K mark. Thank you guys so much, over 800 subs. So let's hop right in. So we're going to start off with our main boss unit, kind of. It's weird to call it a boss unit. This is our main ride target, let's say. This is going to be Chakrabarthi, True Dragon, Mahar, Nirvana. So Nirvana is really powerful, the regular one, you know, just buffing up our field. And this guy kind of follows that same line of thought, just in a grade 4 form. So its first skill continues on Vanguard Circle. During your turn, if you have a unit in the overdress state, all of your front row units get an additional 10k. So you don't have to pay that counterblast anymore for that, which is really nice. And you just have to have a unit in the overdress state, which in this deck is pretty much a given. You almost always will kind of have that. It does have that triple drive as well, so it inherently has a little bit more pressure than our grade 3 Nirvana. You don't really need that persona ride anymore because of that universal 10k. And its second skill is really nice. It reminds me of a stride from Narukami. This is going to be act on Vanguard Circle once per turn. Counterblast 1, put a card with Nirvana in its card name from your hand or soul into your drop, and then choose a grade 0 from your drop, call it to rearguard circle, choose one of your opponent's Vanguard. If your opponent's damage zone has 4 or less cards, deal 1 damage. So again, putting on that pressure, making sure that all of your big columns that you just built up, you just overdressed for, can actually threaten, because, you know, hey, if this hits, you know, you lose the game kind of deal. You want to have them at 5 with this skill and just go into a high pressure turn. Now, overall, the recycle a trick star from the drop is really good. The counterblast, you know, it kind of sucks for that. In a way, the Nirvana one is nice, just discard a card. There were some synergies with other stuff in that. But in general, I think this is definitely a lot better. You need to be riding this. You need to be sitting on this at grade 4 and throughout the game generally. So definitely want to go into this guy. Next up over here, we're going to be looking at another grade 4 that we did get. This is going to be Vairina Expecta. So this is, I'm sorry, not Expecta. This is going to be Esperadia. I think that's how to say it, Esperadia, I don't even know, Esperadia. But this is actually a really interesting unit and really makes us, I'm really glad I actually got the SP and the DSR from my case we got together, so really happy about that. But this is actually a really interesting card because it makes you a little bit more resilient overall and just able to kind of recycle some of the resources without kind of wasting them. So this guy has to overdress over Trickstar. You cannot overdress over anything else. I've seen people accidentally try to do this. Just be aware of that. But its second skill, auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, if it is in the overdress state, put all the Trickstar and cards with overdress from ability from your drop as this unit's original dress. Now we also got some natural, just, you know, no conditional kind of multi-attack too, which is really nice. It's going to be in second skill, auto on rearguard circle. When your Vanguard attacks, we Soul Blast 1, stand this unit, and this guy gets an additional 5k till the end of turn for each of this unit's original dress. So again, by the end of the game, by the time that you're kind of popping this out, you know, you will have a lot in the drop. It's just natural. There's so much retire in this I guess game in general, and your units will be in the drop, so being able to recycle them and actually make use of them out of this card is absolutely huge. And the extra attack that you do is really nice too, because the extra poke that we get here, it's just a 23k, but at the same time, just when you're at 5 damage and you're swinging for 23, you know, that might have been the critical card from their hand they needed to guard, or whatever the case may be. So I really actually do like this card. At the same time, I kind of do wish that we had bigger multi-attacking rear guard columns, because your multi-attack with what was it, Urger? Absolutely pathetic. You know, you sit there, you swing with a Trickstar, hit an 18k number, maybe a 28k number at best, or 23, whatever it is, but, you know, really didn't do too much overall. 1 card to guard kind of situation. This guy, again, is that 1 card to guard situation. Again, it is way more reliable, which I like. But at the same time, I don't think that it can compete with some of the restandings that we see in like Barrow, Bastion, Bruce. I get it, the decks are built different, they do different things in general. This applies pressure through the Vanguard, but at the same time too, those decks apply a ton of pressure and they still get, like, you know, really strong restanding rear guards. So just my kind of gripe, I guess, with that. But overall, very powerful card. I think by the time you see it, that 2 of is enough. You will kind of dig through the deck and dig through your resources a little bit more selectively with some other cards we have in here. So just running 2 of them personally is fine with me. You can up it to 3. I don't think 4 is correct unless you want to go all in on the, you know, dumping stuff into your drop and just making sure that you have a stacked column on him. But I think that this deck is a little bit too fragile to do that at the moment. Next up, I know I've referenced you know, a lot of strong rear guards here, and our grade 3 rear guards actually kind of come back and shine in this set. So this is going to be Vairina Expecta. Expecta is really nice because you can just overdress this in a over anything in the overdress state already. And then during our turn, we get the power of all of its original dress. So this guy, a lot of people preemptively use its 3rd skill here, which is, I'll go over it in just a second, but this guy is actually really strong because, you know, you can overdress something that's already kind of stacked, and then boom, you have a really powerful rear guard, and that is continuous over there. So just be aware of that if you have stuff, you know, like maybe a Leonard tries swinging into it, whatever the case is. This guy is continuous, and it can be really nice to just have a big body sitting on board. You know, maybe you're playing some Overlord or whatever the heck it is. You know, you don't want someone crashing into this, so that is possible. But its 2nd skill, when this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, you can basically counterblast 1, and then this guy gets an additional 15k and a crit, and then at the end of battle, you basically just get rid of all of its original dress, which isn't a horrible thing, because then that kind of sets up your grade 4 turn for next turn, or grade 4 for next turn. So just kind of, you have to pace it correctly. You have to know when you want to actually pull the trigger on that. This applies a ton of pressure with the extra crit, so, you know, maybe you put them at 4 crit, you know, with that at grade 4 Nirvana skill, whatever the case is, pop this down, boom, you're still swinging for lethal then, so they have to pretty much guard that, which is really nice in a way. So I actually do like this. I think it is a strong rear guard. Again, our strengths got even stronger. It's just really the weaknesses that I have my problems with, and they just aren't really addressed through 4 sets of Vanguard so far, overdress. But we're looking at an oldie but goldie here. We have 3 copies of Vairina Valiente. Again, you have to overdress over a Trickstar or a grade 3 or less unit in that overdress state. And then this guy gets 5k for each of your units underneath here. So really nice power columns again, and that is continuous. And the real reason you want to use this is for hit pressure. So if you have them at 5, this is actually really big because they can sit there, they can, you know, maybe take a hit, they heal out, whatever the case is, except for an overtrigger. That'll shut you off for good. But even if they heal out, you know, you sit here, restand this guy with the counterblast, ditch a card from hand, restand. So just be aware that some people will let you hit when they're really not in dire situations just to get that card out of your hand. I've done that in the mirror match quite a few times, and it kind of leads to a thinner hand on their turn. But overall, I think with the triple drive of our Vanguard, this guy is really, really solid. You can overdress it on top of itself and not really feel as bad as you did previously due to another card we're going to go over right now. So again, just to recap really quickly, this is crit pressure, on hit pressure, and we just have really nice recursion and multi-attack through our grade 4. So I really do like these units. Like I said, it's just some of the issues haven't been bandaged up. And then lastly, for our grade 3s over here. So of course, I told you it was named the prayer build for a reason. This is going to be Prayer of Resonating Wishes. So this is a card that came out, I think this is DBT 03. Yeah, it was DBT 03. And this is a really interesting order card because we don't mind overdressing when we see this. We're going to play this with Counterblast 1. Choose one of your Vanguards, and until the end of turn, it gets on Vanguard Circle. When your rearguard is placed, if it was in the overdress state, draw a card, and this unit gets 5k until the end of turn. So you're basically buffing up your 23k grade 4 Vanguard into, you know, 33, 38, whatever the case is. You're going to be buffing up your Vanguard plus drawing. So you're not plussing off of that, but you're cycling cards, and you're going to be cycling these overdress units from your deck, thinning out your deck, buffing your Vanguard, and drawing into maybe some triggers, things like that, maybe some shield that'll just generally help you survive a little bit longer in the game. This card has definitely extended turns that I thought for sure I would lose. Pop down an arcs, pop down this or whatever, draw those 2, you know, get an extra 2. You just cycle so much through this stuff, and it can really just fix your hand in general and just make your whole line of play a lot better, and really just try to hold out a bit longer for that next turn where maybe you're able to close out. So I do like this build. I've tried Urger in here. I've tried all different sorts of things all weekend long assessing this. I just cannot, I can't see myself not playing this in this meta. I think it has to be the prayer build. I think you have to kind of high roll your deck, and in general, yeah, you just kind of have to go with that. Like, I really think that it is the best build right now. There's a reason, you know, it's so popular in Japan. Oh yeah, I think I forgot if I mentioned on the grade 4 skill, I don't know if I read that wrong or something like that, but you do have to Soul Blast Nirvana or discard Nirvana. So if you have extra ones in hand, don't worry about just kind of ditching them in a way. I don't know why that popped in my head right there. I guess I was looking at the Nirvana and I was like, wait, did I mention that for the grade 4 skill? So sorry if I didn't, but let's move right along. We are going into the grade 2s here. So this card is obviously searchable in the ride line, and as such, I'm just running it at 2 of. It sucks when you draw into or damage both of them out, but I think in general, we have too many other good units to run now. So 2 is pretty slim on him, but it just really is really nice overall. This guy actually 2 is nice in your grade 2 turn if you want to just call it down, beat down if you don't have that arcs. Can just, you know, do damage, and then if you didn't overdress it too, swinging in with your grade 3 Nirvana, it still gets that 10k, maybe hit a front or whatever, making it a 30k. So it's really not as bad of a unit as you really want, as you might think. So I do actually like that guy. And then next up in our grade 2 lineup, I'm still missing one of these SPs. I need to get one. This is going to be Vairina Arcs. So Vairina Arcs, again, is just still the GOAT of this deck. Place down, body on board, CB1, draw 2. CB1, draw 2. That is insane. Just such value out of this card, and it gets 5k, so allows you to kind of start pressuring a little bit earlier in the game than compared to some other decks who just kind of come alive on grade 3. And yeah, just nice overall. I don't think there's anything really more to say about this. You need this. This is definitely an overdress unit. Obviously, helps out with the prayer build. Gets that draw additionally too for just the counterblast. So definitely need that. You can cycle through your deck and maybe extend your turn even further with that card a lot of different times. And then next up, we're gonna go straight into the grade 1s. We're done with the grade 2s now. We are looking at 4 of our perfect guards. So perfect guards, needless to say, you need them in the game. It's just, it is what it is. I don't know what else to really say about it. Excellent when they come in clutch. You know, obviously you can discard just that. When your hand has 2 or less cards, boom, pop it down. You don't need to discard anything with it. Really solid. And then our new card over here, new addition to the deck, we actually have Blaze Pole Monk Itsuji, I don't know, something like that. This guy's skill is when this unit is placed on rear guard circle, counterblast 1. Choose one card with the overdress ability from your drop zone, put it into your hand. Your Vanguard is grade 4, counter charge 1. So this is, again, really nice because you can blow out your stack of Expecta, kind of cherry pick something you want from the drop zone. And again, if you have your Vanguard if you have a Vanguard that's grade 4, boom, you just pop this guy down. If you have that open counterblast, you're basically getting it back. You almost always should, with every single turn, have an open counterblast, so it's really not too bad. Helps us cherry pick and get things from the drop. Again, just really nice. I do like this card a lot. Wish there was a little bit more room in the deck for maybe this, as well as the top 7 searcher for the overdress unit, but in the prayer build, I just don't think there is room. Maybe I'll try experimenting, changing my list up and bring that to you guys, but as of right now, I think just running this at 2 is correct. It's just, like I said, not enough space to really get more of those in there. They're really clutch when you see them, and you kind of have to be on grade 4 anyway to kind of start seeing the max potential of it, so I think at 2 of it's fine for right now. And then lastly, over here, the last units in the main deck, we are looking at 2 additional Trickstars. So previously, obviously we wanted 4 of them. This time we have the guaranteed Trickstar in the ride line. On top of that, we can get it back through our Vanguard skill. So really not too bad at all. I think that these, it would again be nice to have a little bit more room. Like, you could cut down some of the grade 3s, but I think the recursion that we have in this deck now is just so nice. Putting these underneath some of our grade 4s really doesn't hurt at all. Like when you just pop down your grade 4, oh god, I forgot the name of it, the Esperadia. Essentially, you're just kind of recurring these guys, so not too bad. I think that you need to cut things down and build like a weird list in order to kind of play optimally now. Again, I wish I could run a little bit more, but just it's hard to fit these. It really is. And you'll see that I think these additional 2, as long as you see one in your hand kind of throughout the game, I think it'll be absolutely fine, because obviously you search one out from the deck and then you have one in your ride line. So really not too bad overall. All right, getting into the triggers then, we are going to start off with the over trigger. No surprise, Dragon Empire one. Stand up your Vanguard, drive again, just gain those resources. It's pretty decent. It's not the best over trigger in the game, but over triggers, definitely need them. I think the Dragon Empire one works really well in this deck in general. Next up, 4 heals. No surprise here, just they are what they are. You need 4 heals. I think that we do apply enough crit pressure in general in this deck, so I actually went ahead and cut 2 of my crits. This might be incorrect, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm running 6 crit total here, so we'll lay that out right there. So 6 crits. I think that, again, we are naturally having that crit pressure with our Vanguard, just damaging them out on top of our rear guard, threatening for 2 crits in Expecta. So I cut these down and tried out a different ratio in general. I'm running 3 front and 2 draw. I think I might up the draw to 3, this maybe to 2, or maybe even go 4. I find that games just go easier when you have the pieces in your hand. You need them, so maybe draws work a little bit better, so I might switch that up, but right now this is what I'm kind of running. The shield does come in clutch, but again, it doesn't accelerate our win condition. Our rear guard's already kind of hit really big columns, so might bump these down. I feel like I just need more key pieces in my hand. Maybe I'll cut these out altogether with time. This is really just the most fluid part of the deck right now. So thank you guys so much for watching so far. If you guys want to, we're gonna stick around and do a test stand. All right, let's shuffle up over here and get started. So overall, I'm very happy with the deck. I definitely don't think it is the best deck in the format right now, though. At my locals, we've had 2. Yeah, we just had 2 tournaments, obviously, so far since the release weekend, and both of them were actually won by different players, both using Bastion, so I'm really actually excited to try Bastion out. I think that there's no wrong build with that, honestly, so very excited to try that out. I think it's actually a pretty good hand. This is actually really all we can really ask for, I think, so let's actually keep that, draw 1, and put that back. Cool. So I think we're actually in a decent spot. Don't have like a ton of shield, obviously. So if our opponent rushes us down with like Dravidia, maybe, going for a little bit early like Magnolia play or something like that, we might be in a spot of trouble, but overall, I think we'll be okay for a test stand. So we're going to stand and draw, pretending that we go first over here. It's cool, so we get another Mahar Nirvana. So we are going to, what are we going to discard here, actually? Really unfortunate. I think I might actually discard him. You know what? I don't have any of my other grade 3 pieces. I'm actually going to go here. I'm very hesitant to just discard Nirvanas because of its skill, though. I've had it where, I can't Soul Blast out, can't discard, and it sucks when you're trying to apply that damage, recur that Trickstar. So just in the interest of kind of keeping that kosher, let's just keep it that way. So we are going to then ride up. Obviously I discarded, forgot to ride, there we go. Gonna pass it over to our opponent. Let's take a damage for their turn. Okay, damn, another Nirvana right there. So we're going to stand and draw. I did shuffle this, I did definitely shuffle this, and you guys saw, so we are going to have him. So this is a tough situation. I want the Pure Light, I want another Nirvana. There's 3 revealed out of deck already. This is tough. This is actually a tough choice. I am going to actually just discard that. Yeah, let's do that and hope for the best. So we are going to ride on up. Let's go grab a Trickstar from our deck. Let's see, congratulations one here. Where are you at? Is that him? Yep, that is him. All right, cool. So I'm gonna call that out to rearguard circle right there. Simple and easy. There we are. Let me know what decks that you guys want in the comments too, because I'll try to bring them between all of us. I mean, we pretty much have every single deck already. We got a case. We've been playing them all weekend, so let us know which one you want to see on the channel, and I will bring that profile to you. So let's counterblast once, draw 2, give that 5k, 1 and 2. Nice. So we do actually have that grade 3. We have another Pure Light actually too, so it's not too bad. So let's go swing in. I'm just going to be more conservative, go with the 15, swing in here, and then boom. All right. Oh, we do get that Nirvana. Nice. Got my SP1, so not too bad. It all kind of worked out in the end, but all Nirvanas have now been revealed, so we're kind of playing on a little bit of a razor's edge, so to speak. Gonna pass it over to my opponent. Let's take 1 damage. Boom. Power draw. Okay, that shuts off any other damage. Wow, another Pure Light. All right, cool. So I know what I'm discarding. Stand and draw for our turn now. So we are going to discard the Pure Light, gonna ride up into the Nirvana, and I am gonna go get the Vairina. Decked in against deck winning. Get rid of your Trickstar from your soul, because that way it could be in your drop for the grade 4 Mahara Nirvana next turn. Nirvana. I keep on saying, like, I feel like I'm not pronouncing the R. Where is my Vairina? Here we are. I'm glad that they finally SP'd the Vairina set. Was kind of, not that my deck is max rarity or anything, but it's pretty high rarity overall, and definitely a sore spot not having SP kind of available for him, or a card that's only a 2-of. All right, cool. So now what are we gonna do? We are going to, am I gonna go hard here? I could do that. I could, nah. You know what? Let's play a Pure Light. Do I want to do that? So my Nirvana won't be big. Let's hold on, I think. Yeah. I don't have my other grade 4 in my hand, my the new Vairina, the Esperada, whatever. It's actually a tough choice. I'm just gonna overdress this guy. I'm going to call him down, and I'm going to swing in. I'm gonna counterblast 1. Let us then. I'm just gonna make him bigger. It's no big deal. I'm just gonna make the whole front row bigger. First check. Let's go. Create power. Let's say second check. All right, cool. We do get that grade 4 there. Nice. And then this is gonna be a 30k. We don't overdress it obviously, but that is all right. I actually could have gone into the Pure Light and done that. Just discarded Pure Light, but it's okay. I'm gonna swing over here. This is 10. I guess the original dress 10, 15. So that is 28, right? Yeah, it's just 28 plus the 10k there. 38 at my opponent. Obviously can't use its skill, but I'm gonna pass it over now. Let's just assume my guard with this guy. You know, he's gone or whatever. We're going to 1, 2. Power. Let's assume I do heal here. Okay. Do I have anything good to heal? Not really. Doesn't really make a difference. Gonna heal that out. Let's take 1 more. Actually, let's just have 3 counterblast power. All right, so that's gonna shut them off. Let's say. All right, cool. So we are now going to my 4 damage. Going to stand and draw for my turn. Here we are. All right, cool. So we got the other Vairina expected. All right, so I don't have a lot of overdress units in my drop. I don't think. 1, 2. I only have 2 there. So let's do something. Let's do something interesting. All right, so first off, we're gonna ride up. We're gonna ride into the SP version here. There we are. And then, do I want to do that? Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's just counterblast 1. Gonna get a Trickstar back. Gonna soul blast out that Nirvana. Trickstar is gonna come back right here. Okay, dokie. Next up, I'm gonna play the Pure Light. Counterblast 1, 5k every time I overdress now. I am going to, also dealing a damage to my opponent. I'm gonna go there's really any benefit to doing that. We could do that. Let's just overdress on top of him just to get the draw off. Because I've got oh my god, another one there. But this is another opportunity for us to actually go into him again, and it doesn't feel bad because you're basically just cycling into him right there. We drew again off of that. Let's go. I guess at this point we can just go into him. We're not going to make this too powerful, unfortunately, but we are going to get one. Oh yeah, well, there's only actually one of those guys in my drop. Maybe I should have actually used this skill last turn. It's okay, either way. So just one of those over there. And then again, he gets the 5k for every unit under my stack when it restands, not when it like initially goes. So we're going to swing over here. It's going to be 23k because we have a unit in the overdress state. And then we're going to swing with our Vanguard, pay a Soul Blast, and then we are going to restand him, and then he gets the extra 10k there too on top of that. So base alone, he's now going to be 33 instead of 823. We are going to triple drive, so let's do that now. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we are almost dry. So we did get a crit over here. You know what? Let's get the crit here. Let's give the power here, crit here, just to put some on-hit pressure with that guy, because we want to make it count if both of these hit. We want to make him basically guard both of these out, because if he does hit, he can restand. So I'm going to go 2 crit, boom, and then this is 10k from that, 10k from the power here, so that's 20 on top of 13, it's 33 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 33, it's just 53 actually, so I'm going to swing. Let's just assume it hits, kind of last one. What are we going to discard from our hand here? I guess we don't need the Pure Light again. Probably don't, we might need that because they might get rid of our thing. You know what? Let's just ditch the Expecta, actually. Then we're going to restand, swing it back in again. And really, it's just pace of play, utilizing your grade 3 rear guards, making sure that you're pretty much getting value from the Pure Light, or I mean the Prayer over here. I keep on saying Pure Light, I don't know why. But overall, that's kind of the idea of the deck. I will say this deck is pretty resource intensive. It feels good when it goes off, but again, I feel like other decks kind of do this multi-attack thing a little bit better without having to pay as much and whatnot. But overall, really nice deck. I think that this is a fun deck for sure. Definitely around that tier 2, tier 1.5 kind of area. Very susceptible to rear guard removal, but at the same time, very powerful. Like if your big columns are your thing, this is definitely the deck for you. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Alex from Team Generations signing out.